Welcome back, my horde. So, like I said in the last quick little podcast that we did, Tammy actually does have a list of things that she wanted to talk about, and with Chris here, I thought, why don't we go over at least some of them as well as a group. So, what's the first one, Tams?
The first one I have is Rick and Morty.
Okay, well, that one immediately removes Chris, seeing how he hates the show.
I don't hate the show, I just don't like Rick.
Well, I don't think you're actually supposed to until season 5 actually makes you like him more.
I've watched the show, I've seen several episodes, but it's just like...
You have a hard time with how he speaks.
Yes.
Which he
the
does,
constant belching.
Which it does actually pull back on that as the series goes on. That's
my biggest problem, the constant belching. I don't care that Rick's an asshole. He is.
Oh, yeah.
But... it's the constant belching that's like, oh my god. I don't even care that he's an alcoholic. It's just, stop belching.
Yeah. No, they do cut back on it a bit, but yeah. As if you have not watched Rick and Morty, this is going to be mild spoilers. If you have watched Rick and Morty, this is going to be mild spoilers. If you don't give a fuck, this is still going to be mild spoilers. Anyway, at the end of the series, more or less, it turns out that what happened is that he was trying to make a... teleporter, and another Rick from another universe came in. Basically, it was like, "Oh, you're trying to make a teleporter? Don't worry about teleporters. We got something better." And it's, they're guns that teleport and also go through universes. And he's like, "Oh, don't worry. I don't need to do this. Whatever." And Rick goes, "It's your loss." And then he leaves, and then later on, Rick is driving home. And the portal opens again. The guy walks out, drops a bomb, goes back in, and kills his entire family.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was supposed to be taking his wife and Beth to somewhere, like the zoo or something. And yeah, they get obliterated. So that Rick technically doesn't have a family. He has nothing. So that's why he's the Rickest Rick, because...
yeah, so then what happens after that is that he makes himself his own portal gun. Takes the portal gun, goes to an alien planet. At the alien planet, he basically gets his memories scanned so that he can actually get a picture of the guy, the Rick that, and not only that, but it's the biosignature of that Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the next little while, traveled the freaking multiverses, killing Ricks.
Oh, yeah.
And comparing them. Try to find that Rick.
And anyone who came to his universe to try and kill him, he would just blast him out of the sky. And he got to the point where literally he was just flying, and he had a bunch of things just automatically killing any Ricks that were coming near him.
And then at the end of it, basically a bunch of Ricks are like, "Hey, we want to make a deal with you. We'll make an actual citadel of Ricks." In which we all just are peaceful to each other and shit like that. And he agrees, and then halfway through it, he just is done with it and leaves. Yeah, and that's why the Citadel of Ricks exists, but he's not a part of it. It's because he's the reason that they had to group up.
Yeah.
Because he was just killing them off at alarmingly large rates. But yeah, so there's a bunch of other things from that point on, Ricks would actually go out and make sure Mortys were being made, either by convincing the two people to bang a second time to have one, or just creating them in vats, because it's harder to spot a Rick with a Morty next to him. I guess they counterbalance each other.
Oh, yeah.
So they seem like two people that are about average intelligence, average everything, but in fact they're actually one hyper genius and one not dumb. He's not even dumb.
Hello.
It's just, I guess it's just the waves of their intelligence. Yeah. But yeah, so that's that and then at the end of it, Rick realizes that he's being a dick, so he's wanders off and doesn't work with Morty for a while, and he's being abusive, so he doesn't so he stops. And then you find out that another Morty, he figured out all the stuff that they were doing and realized that they took the multiverse and they actually removed any multiverse that doesn't have a Rick in it. So their multiverse is a like DNA strand looking thing.
Yeah.
And it's all the multiverses with Ricks.
Oh yeah.
And you can't teleport to a universe that doesn't have a Rick or didn't originally have a Rick.
Mm-hmm.
So the portal gun only works to those
Yep.
places. So it's pretty interesting as well. So yeah. What's the next one, Tams?
The next one I have on my list is childhood dream careers.
Okay.
So what did you want to be when you grew up?
I want to be a firefighter. No. That's the one's really freaking tough because I don't really remember personally.
For the longest time, I wanted to be a wrestler.
Yeah, there was mattering on what point in life we're talking about, as in childhood.
Yeah.
I know that in my early teens to close to my late teens, I wanted to be a wrestler. Or an actor. Or both. Because
Well, I mean, when you're wrestling, you're acting as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you're acting most of it. It's also like
Yeah.
a mix between like acting and exercise of sports. Oddly enough, I think at one point I wanted to be like I guess a hero, so like a cop kind of idea, but like it was like the extra like hero kind of thing, like like a superhero.
Yeah.
But I guess it turned out that I was just going to be a crappy YouTuber. So
Yeah.
So what was yours? Is wrestler?
Yeah, I wanted to be a wrestler when I was, when I was a kid. But looking at it now, there's no way I'd be the person I am. I would not be able to handle the constant road, being on the road 360 days.
Yeah. No, at one point when I was about 18 to 22-ish, I was in talks with my one friend about actually starting up our own wrestling promotion, but putting it all on YouTube. And having it where, like, our own personal website had stuff like like it had every time you went to someone's profile, it'd have like their actual profile and then kayfabe profile.
Yep.
So like if I broke my arm and kayfabe, it actually would have like under my kayfabe stuff like I broke my arm, I'm out, for whatever amount of time. But in the actual profile, it would actually tell you exactly why I was out. So that way it would be like you wouldn't have to keep searching all the different internet pages and then getting all the rumors and stuff like that. We'd give you like the actual information. And like people could actually like go there. And like the idea I was talking to my friend about, like when we were talking about it, is like doing like live events like once a month, but doing like recorded events every like week. So like we would just do it in the one spot though.
Yep.
So we would just like you get a warehouse kind of idea, have a ring there, and then have like matches like once a week where we would just wrestle, and then having like the pay-per-view being where we actually have guests going in.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think a lot of people would watch us at first, but
probably not.
That was the concept. And then having it like basically be like if you buy a shirt, it was like print on demand kind of idea. So like after a certain amount of shirts were requested, then we'd send out your shirt.
Yep.
Just because then we would actually make money off of it. Tammy, what was yours?
According to my mom, she said that when I was really young, I wanted to be a stunt driver.
Interesting career.
And then, more out of when I remember, out of my own volition, it was, I wanted to be an artist of some sort, so...
Well, I mean, you are an artist of some sort.
Yeah, but I mean, like, professionally, not necessarily, like, I work for Disney, but, like, I work in animation or some sort of, like, character design kind of deal.
Yeah. I know at one point in Tammy's early 20s, she was thinking about getting into tattooing. But the problem is that you have to have consistent work. Like, you have to be consistently good. That's where Tammy was like, oh, I don't think I can do it. Because, like, you know, you can't have an off day. And Tammy does have off days. Like when she's drawn pictures before, she's like drawing pictures. She's like, this is crap. Like, how did I draw this so crappy?
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know why? Because you didn't want to do it. She's like, yeah, I guess that's true. I'm like, that's the problem. Is if you want to do it, you draw really good drawings. But if you don't actually want to do it, you're shitty.
Yeah.
I think that's actually what some tattoo artists actually are. That's why sometimes when you get a tattoo, they're like, oh, well, you know, I have to do some work around it and give you a completely different tattoo. I think those tattoo artists are ones that, like, I can't do that because I don't feel like it.
Yep.
So let's get a tattoo that actually works.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's another one of my problems is that's why I don't do commissions very often. Because unless you're going to give me free reign and, like, mild guidelines, then sure, I'll have fun with it. I'll do whatever.
Oh,
if you give me, like, it has to have this, and it has to be designed in this such a way, and they have to be in this pose, and whatever, then I'm like, cool, I'm not the person for you.
Yep.
Unless you're me. And then apparently I can get away with that because the concept that it's
Because
usually...
you're right there as I'm drawing it. But if
I was thinking about doing this pose, then I show her, like, the pose. I'm like, you know... Or something like that, or, like, she looks at it, I'm like, oh, this is a little bit off, or whatever. But no, like... recently, Tammy had to do a commission for me and my family. My stepfather passed away last November. I was gonna say in November, but it's like theoretically it was 2020. And when he passed away, it was really hard on my mom and stuff like that, so she didn't want to deal with any of it. But because he was a motorcyclist with a little some of his friends. It's not like a club or anything. It's like just friends. But anyway, they wanted to get a patch done for him, and my mom really didn't want to deal with it still because again, it's one of those things where she, even though it's almost been a year, she's not fully accepting that he's gone.
Yep.
And she didn't really want to deal with it, and she gave him like the general basis of what, you know, she thinks he'd want, and then he started running with it, and he started creating all these weird things, and like sending my mom pictures, and my mom was like, yeah, whatever, because she didn't want to deal with it, and all this stuff, and it started evolving into something weird.
Yeah.
And when we were over there, what was it, like a month ago? Yeah, it was near the beginning of September, so yeah, a month ago. When we were over there talking with everybody, he messaged her. Just conveniently, for everything's sake. He messaged her because the toy run was going to be here soon. It was within a month away. And he wanted to make sure that he could get the final okay from her before, he sent it away. And she came back to the table and she sat down. She's like, now it's evolved into a freaking eyeball. What screams him from an eyeball? And my sister's like, what the hell? Like, and I didn't realize that they had even been dealing with it. Because when, I think it was in January, it was going to be that Tammy was going to do with it, and they had to send Tammy stuff. The problem was that they never sent Tammy anything. So Tammy's like, okay,
or
well...
they sent me, like, half of it.
Yeah. So Tammy's like, okay, well, I'll just wait. So, it just never evolved into anything. So, yeah. Chris wants to take a break for a second. That was weird. So the weird part was the fact that when I went to go stop the video or the recording, it like looked like it was like somewhere in like 30 minutes in, and then it was like, oh no, I'm not this close, and just like jetted backwards. It's like, wow, that was weird. Anyway, when he got, like, when I found out that they were doing that, I'm like, what the heck is, like, why are they doing this? Because as far as I'm concerned, what would really represent my stepdad is just literally a skull with, like, fucking smoking a joint. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the rest of my family immediately was like, yeah, that's all we want. That's all we freaking want. It's just something that with, like, of course, the extra little tidbits that they want, which is, like, his bike on the, his name on it, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. So I literally went home and, like, basically, I was like, Tams, this is what I want. She's like, okay. So she started doing it up. everything was fine. After she had done it all, everything was cool. She sent it away, and they're like, "Oh, we want to change a couple things." Tammy's like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, so Tammy had to like change a couple things, but that's where Tammy hates commissions, because it's like they gave her everything they wanted, and then she made it, and then they're like, "Oh, we need this, this, and this." Tammy's like, "For fuck's sakes!" So, and the way that they wanted it, it's like that doesn't even make sense. So I told Tammy, "Don't do it the way they said it." They wanted to have because Tammy had the bike's name, like the company's name for the bike at the top, and the bottom had the actual bike's name, and then had the model, the year of the bike in the smoke. The bike is called a Triumph, the Bonneville, and it was a 1977 was when the bike was made. So all that was done up. They were like, "Oh, well, we want his name on there now, and the year." Like, okay. So basically, Tammy had to they wanted to put it on the side. So like the smoke is on the left. They wanted to have his name on the right side. I'm like, you do understand that would have to go vertically for it to fit in with everything and not be awkward. Which vertically, we don't read vertically as English speaking people.
Yep.
I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I just told her, like, move all the stuff, the bike up to the top. So it would be everything's at the top, and then have his name at the bottom and with his year. And she's like, okay. And then she put it down, like, make the year smaller. And she's like, okay. I'm like, make it a smaller even. And she's like, okay. So she made it smaller. And then she, like, sent it away, and they modified it a little bit, but kept it relatively the same. All they did was the concept that they changed it so it didn't actually say November. It had, an abbreviation of November. And that the year was actually with the bike. So it said Bonneville 77. And then the smoke, the guy really wanted to put the CCs of the bike.
Mm-hmm.
So he put that in there. So that's what that was. But she's like, that's why Tammy hates commissions. Like, she, one of our mutual, I'll say acquaintances, but
yep.
Wanted a tattoo. And Tammy's like, yeah, sure, fine. I'll draw you a picture, man. He's like, this is what I want. And like told her all the things he wanted. Tammy drew it all out, sent him a picture, went, is this okay? He went, yep, that's great. She's like, great. Because once I ink it, it's not changing. He's like, yep. Tammy's like, cool. So she started inking it. And halfway, as she was already done inking it, and I think she was actually through coloring it.
No, I didn't color it.
Oh, no, you didn't color that one? Okay. After she was done inking it, at least, like almost an hour later, he's like, hey, can you change something for me? She's like, nope. He's like, well, I showed my mom, and she was thinking that maybe I should have, because he had a shield with I think it was a staff or something.
No, it was a sword.
It was a sword?
Through the
center. Yeah, okay. She's like, oh, my mom thinks that maybe I should go and turn it halfway and then put another object there. And then that we should actually switch around what the things are in the middle. Because it was a shield with divided in four. With 4 objects.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Tammy's like, cool, bring up with the tattoo artist. I don't care anymore. He's like, okay.
Yep.
You're not paying me, so you can fuck off. So, yeah. That was pretty much what Tammy's thought process was about it. Was the next one?
The next one I had was foods that you wanted to try, or what your favorites were if you don't have anything you want to try.
Okay. I know that Chris had this question not too long ago from Jay, and Chris went,
Pretty much.
I know that there's 2 things that I want to try. One of them is, I was talking to a friend about it recently, and she's like, that's too much. I'm like, yeah, but I still want to try it. It's in Texas, there's a challenge. It's this 72 ounce. It's the Big Texan is what it's called. But it's a 72 ounce steak. Yeah, I was going to say, he needed... Oh, I'll explain that in a second. Chris was trying to get my one cat, Pumpkin, to jump up onto his knee. And Pumpkin was, like, staring at him like, are you sure, man? Like, because Pumpkin can't... He's not graceful at all. So the idea behind it is, like, I'm like, oh, he's not going to do it. So I put my knee down. Because my knee is about a foot lower than Chris's area was. And then Pumpkin immediately jumped out to my knee and then jumped over to Chris. But, yeah, no, there's the big Texan. It's like a 72-ounce steak. It's part of a challenge where basically you pay $72 if you can't beat it in an hour. Watch a girl beat it in like a stupid amount of time.
It was less than 20 minutes.
Yes, she ate 3 of them in less than 20 minutes.
Yeah,
That's rough.
I was like, what the fuck?
A professional food competitor. Like,
Professional eater.
Yeah. But she's really small. I can't remember her name. It's like
Molly, I think it was.
Was it Molly? I want to say it was like, yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, nonetheless, all I know is I would like to try that at one point. But the actual thing I really want to eat is Wagyu beef. And with the Wagyu beef, I was looking it up, and that's going to be at least $150 to $300.
What's that all?
For a steak.
Is that all?
Yeah, to be fair though, it's because it's a particular type of beef, like the breed of the cow is completely different and indigenous, I think, to Japan, and it's also fed a certain, like, it's fed a certain diet, and it's fat and meat are marbled in such a way that it just melts.
So what you guys don't know, because, you guys can't see it, you guys can probably hear the squeaking of the chair occasionally. But Chris just basically was, like, trying to take a picture of my cat. And as he was trying to take a picture of my cat, he was like, Chris is fidgeting. And the way he's fidgeting, it's making squeak noises. But, yeah, he was trying to take a picture of my cat. My cat was, like, really not having a part of it. And then he almost fell off Chris.
I got 3 decent pictures of him.
Dude, he's not graceful. He's a freaking wet noodle. Gentle with my wet noodle of a cat.
Your cat's fine.
Jeez, man, he almost just fucking collapsed again.
Yeah, he's fine.
You had to pick him up. Poor guy. I know. Just kicking your ass, isn't he? You wet noodle. But yeah, those are the 2 major things I would definitely want to try. Which is funny that they're both steak. I think the biggest thing is the fact that anything else I really wanted to try, I could just try. Like,
yeah,
it's more the exotic stuff that's the harder stuff to try. And I don't think there's ever anything like, I'm not one of those people like, oh, I want to try turtle soup. No, that actually bothers me. I grew up with the Ninja Turtles. I can't eat Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, or Michelangelo.
I wouldn't mind trying sake.
Okay, just rice wine.
Yeah.
I think I was actually going to buy some at one point, but then Tammy was like, "Here's the problem." It was like when we were like younger, like I was 25, I think, at the time. So it's almost like 10 years now. Anyway, I was like, "Here's the problem: if you buy it and don't like it, I can't guarantee I'll like it." I'm like, "Yeah, we don't have enough fucking people to try it." But no, one of the things I was thinking about doing was if I actually went on this trip that me and Tammy were talking about, which is still a long ways out, was that we were going to go to every place that we were on our path of, trek through the world. And we were going to try like a classic dish from that place, plus like a classic drink from that place. I don't know if I'll still do the drink part.
So when you go to Russia, you're having vodka?
That would be the idea, yes. But, stuff like that. Like, Tammy wants to try stroganoff. Beef stroganoff from Russia. One of the friends that we were talking about when we originally were talking about doing this, and they were going to come with us. They were thinking about having pierogies from the Ukraine.
Yeah, pierogi.
And stuff like that. Or, like, the classic freaking fish and chips from England. Shit like that.
Yeah.
So. But no, I know there are certain foods that I don't like trying. Like when we were talking to some friends at one point, they were talking about maybe going and getting like I can't remember what the fuck the place was called. What they were actually talking about. I think it was like Indian cuisine.
Okay.
But the problem was the fact that a lot of the cuisine, like they have, like, you know, I'll try to explain to them, like, you just be careful because a lot of the cuisine has heavy veggies.
Yeah.
And I hate a lot of veggies. So, like, you know, if you're going to have, like, if they're going to get something like that.
A lot of different curries have pretty heavy veggies.
Some of them don't. Some of them are simply, like, a cream sauce with, you know, freaking chicken or whatever, and then just layer on rice. That's fine. But when you start getting too heavy in the veggies, I don't enjoy it. So that's something I have to be careful for. But it's like, you know, Tammy would occasionally watch like shows like Chopped or Cutthroat Kitchen or
like Cutthroat Kitchen
or whatever other show that Tammy would watch, like Iron Chef or whatever. And I was like, oh man, I would love to be a judge on that just to try different foods.
Yep.
But the problem is that most of them want to put some weird freaking veggie in there. So I just wouldn't eat the veggie, and then it would ruin the entire dish because I wouldn't eat a portion of your freaking dish.
Yeah.
Though it would be actually kind of interesting to do that because of the fact that if you think about it, it's the concept that I, as like a person, don't like this thing. Can you make a dish where everyone will still enjoy it, even if they don't eat parts of it?
Yeah. And then you gotta eat what's on your plate.
Then I can't do that. Tammy also couldn't do it. If they add too much of one thing, Tammy's out, which is soy.
So like any edamame or hard soy product, as long as it's pretty much soy sauce is fine. But I think tofu, miso, anything like that just does not bode well.
Yeah.
It's not that it tastes weird or I don't like it. It's just it don't like me.
Yeah, no. It gives Tammy dietary problems just because her body cannot digest it properly because she doesn't have a thyroid. It's apparently a thing. What else? What was it, Tams?
The last thing I had was favorite songs or bands, if you don't have a particularly favorite song.
Okay. I actually have, I think, truthfully, I have 3 favorite songs. Not counting, like, special songs.
Yeah.
Like, Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff.
Yep.
Slipknot's Duality.
Good song.
And Slipknot's Unsainted.
I'm not too familiar with that one. I'm pretty sure you've played it for me.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say, I'll play that one again. Yeah, I like that. Also, like, for the bands, Slipknot has actually been their newer stuff. I really enjoyed their newer stuff more.
Yeah.
The more that Corey has actually expressed his vocals rather than death growl, I've enjoyed it more. The other ones are Seether.
Yep.
I can listen to most Seether songs and be pretty good. And then, I think those are the 2 bands that right now I'm really into. Mild, like, other songs here and there, but we're not going to get into those ones.
Yeah. For me, my favorite band is Rammstein. I think I'm missing only one of their CDs. But other than that, I've got, like, their 2 or 3 live CDs that they have out. I got a bunch of their DVDs, which is just them in concert. Plus some of their music videos.
Have you looked into any of his stuff with his other band?
No, I have not yet.
Okay. Or himself?
No.
Because, Tammy has a CD of his other band.
Yeah, I know.
And I know that he started doing songs by himself too.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of interesting because if I'm not wrong, his solo band is called Till Lindemann.
No, I believe the solo band is just Lindemann.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the confusing part. Because I think Lindemann is the one with him and the other guy.
Oh, okay.
That's what's so confusing about it. Is because I actually started seeing some songs that were just under the artist Till
Okay.
Lindemann. So it sounds like he actually, you know... I think he was originally supposed to maybe do some stuff with the other guy, which was going to be Lindemann.
Yeah.
But the other guy, then maybe they started having like conflict of certain things, so he started doing that. Because I know that he has that one where I Hate Kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's under Till Lindemann. So Chris is actually looking it up right now.
Yeah, I am. Looks like he's only in 2 bands, Rammstein and Lindemann.
Okay. It's weird because, like I said, the Lindemann one, I'm pretty sure that the one that Tammy has the other guy in it for most of the songs.
Yeah.
But I know, like I said, he has a song that has no one else but him in it called I Hate Kids. It's supposed to be, I guess, I Hate Kids on airplanes is what it kind of boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
But the music video just shows him, like, hating kids
Oh,
at school.
I was gonna say the kids are hating each other in the school. He's just there as like a teacher-esque figure. But yeah, I'd say my favorite. I have some favorite songs. I don't necessarily have one. It all depends on the band, though. I think one of my more recent favorite songs is "Spiders" by Slipknot.
Another song I really like, it has to be definitely a favorite of mine, is Wrong Side of Heaven.
Yeah.
Which is Five Finger Death Punch.
Yep.
Yeah. I also really like the cover artist.
Frog Leap Studios is what she's actually about to say here. She's just saying it really slowly. There's a YouTuber called, which also is his own band and stuff like that, called Frog Leap Studios. And Tammy really fucking enjoys him.
Yeah.
She will hate a song, he will do the song, and she will like the song. And she'll like his version more than like actual things. Like, so it's also really interesting because he'll do a song and me and Tammy will then go watch the original afterwards.
Yeah.
And see the difference.
Yeah.
And it's really sometimes like we like his for different reasons.
Yeah.
Like he did recently he did a song with his daughter, and it was based off of Pink's song.
Okay.
Where she did it with her daughter. But we liked his music video more than we liked Pink's.
Yeah.
Because when his daughter actually sings in his video, it's actually her, and it's actually like she's actually holding the mic and she's actually singing next to the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Where with the Pinks, it didn't really seem like they were just recording kind of things.
Yeah.
And then they just layered it over. So it doesn't feel like the daughter was really part of the music video as much.
Yeah.
It was just like a mummy and daughter going out and playing. And then mom would then do like her singing. So it was just, I don't know, it felt a little weird, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Ugh. Anything else you want to add?
Negative on the Panda front.
Okay. I know there's a couple other songs that we can really go over. Like, music could be a huge thing, but maybe we'll save that for next time.
Okay.
Because, I was going to say, it's like, there's certain songs that we really like. There are certain bands that, like, I don't mind Rammstein at all.
Yeah.
It's just like, if I had to, like, only listen to 2 bands for the rest of my life, Slipknot and Caesar.
Yep. I can understand that. I wouldn't know what... going with that idea, what the second band for me would be like. Because I can think of, like, a bunch of bands that I like. Like I said, Rammstein is one of my favorite. I can think of an album that I really like. Like, I don't know how many times I've listened to it in my life. Yeah, I've listened to it so many times, and then I got it on the CD for Christmas last year, I think. But
That's the same with like Seether, like one of their newest CDs. I think it's actually their newest one. Tammy had it in her Jeep on repeat for probably about a month and a half, 2 months.
Yep.
Until I switched it for the Slipknot CD
Yeah.
that we had previously had in there for a month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah.
So, like...
And that's been at least, I want to say, close to 3 or 4 months since you've changed that out, and I haven't bothered to change the Slipknot one out yet.
I don't think it's been that long, but yeah, no, it's we'll just switch them back and forth. There's a couple other CDs that are like that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna end this right here. So until next time, hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you then.